what real independent journalism looks like.
Remember, thumbs up if you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to ring that bell. Stay tuned, we're going to start right now.
What you know you can't explain. But you feel it. You felt it your entire life. That there's something wrong. You don't know what it is, but it's there. Like a splinter in your mind, driving you mad. Experience the awakening. Brilliant anonymous researchers. Patriots, join us in the Patriot Army. Trust the plan, pain coming. Boom, boom, boom. Let's go. RedStateTalkRadio.com, Brighteon.tv, Rumble.com/MG Show. The end won't be for everyone. That choice to know will be yours. Where we go one, we go all. Fight, 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 and fight we will. We fight every day right here on the MG Show. Welcome to the MG Show. Happy St. Patrick's Day, everybody. Get your inner leprechaun out and let's... Wait, that sounded weird. Shady, happy St. Patrick's Day.
No, don't do that. Welcome, everybody.
I am wearing green. My shorts are green.
Oh, well, thank you for letting us know that. My screen is green.
My screen is green, too. See?
It's not working, though. I'm trying to get it to work. I have a green screen issue right now.
Patriot Pollywog, $18 Rumble rant. Thank you so much. Thank you. Deep Blue Realm, one subscription as well. Welcome to the people that are here new today. And I see we have some naked people that are getting their castles. That red castle means that you are now, somebody is offering you a subscribership to the MG Show. And if you'll notice, our whole chat has red castles in it, Shady.
Yeah, I did notice that.
Yeah. It's awesome. And thank you for that. We're sponsored by you, the listeners. So we've got St. Patty's Day, Shady, and we've got the president in the Oval Office. Should we go join him?
Well, I would
Or should we just real quick? I mean, I just don't know where to start, brah.
Well, I would just really like to start by saying that, yes, we do need to go join him, and we need to pay attention to exactly what's going on right now, because the whole world is coming to the conclusion that America is not exactly the America that has been projected by the Bush clan or the Obama crew or the Clinton Knights or any of the other feckless leaders that we have had. Now we have a leader, and this leader is going to utilize the political will of the American people to force our agenda onto the world, because the world should be emulating America. America, it's not our job to emulate you whenever you have a dysfunctional country. America is the only country on planet Earth where the people are in charge of their own destiny. Like it or not, ladies and gentlemen, the communists are losing, and this man right here is beating them all with one hand tied behind his back every single day.
Yeah. And, you know, we got a major Q-proof Scottish Anon Tartarium actually got it, Shady Grove.
I saw that.
So this is what's happening in Germany, okay, which is what was happening here and is. That's why the Save America Act needs to pass, guys, all right? Angela Merkel sparks fury in Germany by telling migrants to vote against the AfD, okay? Merkel has sparked anger in Germany after telling migrants illegal aliens, guys, to vote against the hard right party, the AfD, guys.
Wow.
Yeah. And it's not like, Q didn't tell us about that.
I think he did.
Q did tell us about that, and these are legit drops. November 5th, 2017, chain flags Germany, Merkel, migrants. Why are migrants so important? Assets. Okay. August 28th, 2018, Q explicitly says Merkel should be very nervous in the deep state cash migrant ops context, guys. And if you fast forward to today, March 17th, 2026, with your little leprechaun sitting on your shoulder, you've got Merkel right now on Hess Broadcasting openly telling people with migration background to join forces and vote as a bloc against Germany first, essentially, Shady Groove.
That's what, and wouldn't you expect that?
Yeah.
This is what globalism is, and this is what globalists do, and this is what you're going to see is the rest of the world is going to continue over the ledge of globalism into insanity as we put on the brakes and recognize that humanity has a lot more success whenever it's left to the individual to be able to decide what the individual wants to do, not having to go along with everybody in the group. Because if you're noticing, there's a number of people in many countries that you would consider, that say, well, it's just easy socialism. It's like calm, nice, friendly socialism. Well, is it calm, nice, and friendly whenever they're coming knocking on your door because you're making a Facebook post about how you're tired of the migrants taking over all of the infrastructure of your country? Is that, and so now that's really happening. They're really coming to get you, and they're really putting you away for talking about this stuff. This is not small potatoes things. Being able to speak and being able to say what it is that is true is exactly what will always be under assault. And it's a big portion of what it is that we stand up for here on this broadcast.
That's right. And it's exactly what we understood when we were following Q, okay, and reporting on it. That's all we did. Migrants weren't refugees, guys, okay? They were assets to create permanent left-wing BS in your country and our country, guys. It's a permanent left-wing voting machine. That's what these illegal aliens are, okay? Let's not mince it, guys. Isn't that what we're seeing, Shady? She's now weaponizing today the AfD against, because the globalist nightmare is collapsing, guys. She's panicking. This is panicking in Germany. Merkel wants the migrants to vote against Germany first type, America first type candidates.
That's not just Germany, though.
Well, it's here in this case.
I understand, but I'm just saying that
it's America too. It's here too. It's
a construct.
Playbook. Yeah.
It's a construct.
That's what I was saying.
That's what. Yep, exactly. So that type of behavior is what's considered default. Yep. It's a default position of the leaders of the country.
As I keep reading, it's the same playbook, Shady, as you're mentioning. It's the same playbook. The swamp tried here, guys, okay? And Trump crushed it in 2024. Patriots in Germany are waking up, guys. And we woke up too here in this country. So this is the endless crap, guys. It's crazy. Q called these players out years ago. We reported on it years ago. And here it is coming to fruition today, Shady.
Today and forever. Yeah. Because it's a change. It's a change that changes it changes the substructure.
Yeah.
This is not about changing the facade.
Yeah.
Or putting a coat of paint on something. This is changing the substructure of how we function as a country, and as also to export our idealism. Our idealism is our best asset. The ability to think around blockages, the ability to stop in the encroachment of a force that is not friendly to the human experience. We have that ability. We, the American people, are the force that stopped slavery. The Republican Party was built out of the freed slaves in America. Yeah. And you don't see a Republican Party in Spain. You don't see the Republican Party over there in Africa. You're not seeing really a big foothold of the Republicans in the Philippines or in Asia, are you? Why is that? Because those are still occupied territories. The only territory on earth that is unoccupied by the globalist regime are the borders of this nation.
That's right. And Q let us know 'tis the season of treason. It's May. Merkel, Macron, never stop fighting. Where we go, when we go walk. Because Tory MP says Theresa May has just told them she will resign as PM before the next general election. Some ministers reported to be in tears inside the committee room. So they forced her out to get illegal aliens in. Do you see what this is? This is the playbook. Okay. Once you take care of yours, please help Canada, Q. The world will follow. Think Merkel, guys. Politics, same for Merkel. Think movie. Think logically. Attack on the world. Are people of France to blame? Are the people to blame or the ruling class leaders, controllers? Apply leverage strategically, one by one. Unity, power shift, rise of the people worldwide. Not understood? Merkel should be very nervous. Look at that, guys. Look at that. It's all there. It's all here, Shady. Wow. So there you go, folks. And that's a Q proof. Pesky. A pesky one at that.
The world is going to be turned around 180 degrees. Everything that you thought of that was functionality on Earth is getting ready to go the other direction. We're no longer going to be guided by fear. We're no longer going to stand back and say, oh, we can't. Think about that. Every single administration has been trying to get you to believe that we as America can't stop what's happening in Iran. Donald Trump just proved to you that, yes, we can, just like what we did with the border. We stopped the border. Now look what we've done with Iran. We've stopped them. This was not about like this guy, this Kent guy, and this whole kerfuffle that's going on right now.
Now you're Candace.
Yeah, the kerfluffle. No, it's a kerfuffle that's going on right now. It's got everybody all lighting their hair on fire. These people are not you. Okay, the neocon, agenda-driven, InfoWars type human beings are going to keep you locked into the neocon, Cold War, fear-based mentality. The mentality that says we can't do anything. The mentality that says you're not allowed to ever go to war. The mentality that says you can't stand up for weak people and prevent weak people from being threatened or harmed by strong people. That's not being a police of the world, okay? Being the police of the world is like sticking your nose into every single little action and acting like that we have a say in it. That's not exactly what's been going on, is it? This is the biggest boogeyman, the biggest bully on planet Earth. This bully was built by the intelligence agencies. This bully is managed by the intelligence agencies. There's no difference between Hezbollah in Lebanon than there is Hamas in Palestine, than there is the Taliban in Afghanistan or the ISIS in Syria. This is all the same intelligence agencies operating in the Middle East so that they can manage and maintain control of the Iranian oil mainly. They've just lost that. The whole world stage is getting ready to change because everybody's going to have to start buying energy from America now. That's what's changed. That's why we're going to get wealthy. Right. Invest in oil stocks.
Exactly right. So, that's well said. And, you brought up, we'll talk about him in a minute, but, bringing this back to what Merkel is saying, to telling illegal aliens in Germany to vote against somebody that wants to fix their country and get rid of the illegal aliens, is tying back to the Save America Act today, guys. It is not complicated, okay? Only American citizens, okay, can vote. Proof of citizenship, okay, to register. Real photo ID to vote, okay? End the mail-in free for all that happened during COVID for cheating, guys, rampant cheating. And if the Senate GOP caves to the filibuster excuse or let the Dems kill it, they're all complicit. So you guys need to, get loud, guys. Call Thune, call every Republican senator, pass the Save America Act now, or explain why they didn't, okay? You, the people, have to ask your representatives, why aren't you behind this? It's simple.
There's no explaining anything. This is a 76% issue on the Democrat side.
Yeah.
76% of all Democrats polled, even out here, say that you should have to have an identification. There's no bloc, there's no group in America other than illegal aliens and Democrat elite that think that you should not have an identification to vote. The only reason that they don't want you to do that is because they know that that will force a massive amount of illegals off the voter rolls. And also, Jeff, I want to make this clear. This is not just about an illegal human being that's standing there like in real life to vote. This is about any illegal immigrant. Let me tell you something. Any illegal immigrant that's been sent here that's gotten somehow the ability to vote in a state, that person could be back in Guam. That person could be back in South Africa. They could be back in Cambodia, wherever the hell they came from. They could be back there. Guess what's going to happen? Their vote's still going to count.
Yeah.
The vote's still in the system. The way that it's set up, it's not set up in a way to where like the Cambodian guy shows up at the poll to actually vote. No, he's put in a system. He's put on a roll. His name is there. And then when time comes for him to submit a ballot, all of a sudden, ding, one goes up in the Democrat category for him. That's the way the system is built. And that's why this SAVE Act is so vital to the forward motion of eliminating illegal immigration in America.
And here's President Donald J. Trump's post on that. The Save America Act is one of the most important and consequential pieces of legislation in the history of Congress and America itself. No more rigged elections, voter ID, proof of citizenship, no rigged mail-in voting. We are the only country in the world that allows this. No men in women's sports, no transgender mutilization. Mutilization? Is that? No transgender mutilization of our children. 90 to 99% issues all. Wow. So he's saying 90 to 99% issue, Shady. That's amazing, right? Only sick, demented, or deranged people in the House or Senate could vote against the Save America Act. If they do, each one of these points separately will be used against the user in his or her political campaign for office. A guaranteed loss. Get your senators, Republican or Democrat, to vote yes on the Save America Act. I will never, ever endorse anyone who votes against Save America. Thank you for your attention to this matter, President Donald J. Trump.
This is another point, like we were talking about yesterday, of being able to create the dividing line. Remember how everybody kept saying to us, oh, you're being divisive. Oh, you're doing that. Well, the truth is by nature, it is divisive. Yes, we do want unity. Yes, we are where we go one, we go all. But where we go one, we go all means we go where the truth is. Not just like wherever the next guy that wants to yap about something goes. You go where the truth is. You follow what it is that you consider the best information at the time so that you can make the best decision that you can possibly make. And look at what we're seeing right here. Look at how this is all being set up. He is developing another moment where you can clearly see who the players are. He's not going out there and say, remember what McCarthy did? McCarthy went out there and he said, you people are communists, and he called them straight out to their faces, and he said, this is their network, and this is how they're doing it. And the whole system turned on him and called him crazy and crushed him into oblivion. Trump isn't doing that. He's making alternative examples that set an analogy up that build confidence in your brain that you understand and can discern things properly, then presenting you with a very simple equation, very simple math. We're not even talking multiplication. It's either subtraction or addition. You do the math yourself. You do the discernment yourself. This is the question, and watch how people react. And then you decide, are they on your side or are they against you?
Yeah.
It's beautiful. It's architect. You can't even write it. It's hard to even describe what we're watching with him. It's like we said this morning, it's like he's going so fast. We're like, well, we're going to keep up with as much as we can.
So if Alex Soros doesn't like it, do you think American people would like it, Shady?
I think that if Alex Soros doesn't like it, I like it. How does that sound?
And Alex Soros funds Democracy Docket via the North Fund via Arabella Advisors. This is what he's talking about today. The Save America Act as a political stunt. Now it's a real threat. You're damn right it is, Alex. Mm-hmm. Okay?
A threat to your system.
And this is Democracy Docket. That's what's his name? Mark Elias. Okay? Mark Elias is getting paid from foreign and domestic billionaires to have lawsuits against you guys. Because you want citizens only to vote. You are a racist pig
because you only think that American citizens have the right to vote. According to these people, any human being on earth has the right to come here and vote.
Yeah.
That's the argument they're making, man. I'm not like that. That's not a conjecture. They're literally saying that.
Yeah. Yeah. Who's it a threat to? Right? It's a threat to globalization. It's a threat to the neocons. It's a threat to the endless wars. It's a threat to the endless corruption.
Right.
It's a threat to the endless crap at the Federal Reserve and the endless, Shady.
It's a threat to the point where if they lose the midterms, if we gain members of the House, if we gain members of the seat, it's over. Like the whole neocon thing. This is why I want everybody to get extra momentum going into the midterms, because that's the reason that they're fighting so hard. That's the reason Candace jumps off the ship, Tucker's jumped off the ship, Marjorie's jumped off the ship. They're all acting like, you should be jumping off the ship. What's going to really make this hilarious is whenever we're all standing there on the ship looking at them in the water for the next 6 months, because they're foolish and they're going to be made to look foolish, because success going forward from right now, the success you're going to see between right now and the end of June is going to be extraordinary. I could be wrong. It could turn into a debacle in Iran. We'll wait and see. But this is my prediction. My prediction is we are witnessing competence, and competence will rule the day. It will, and it usually does in a normal society. And we're now turning the ship around to a normal functioning society. These people are going to all be over there with the Democrats, exactly where they've always been. Just now we get to see it.
Yeah. Don't you love that?
I just love it.
I love it, guys. Do you love it?
They will re. It will sound like re.
No. Like,
You need to get a lot more re behind your re, bro. This time with feeling. Let's go.
We want more re.
We want more re, guys, and we're getting it. So was Joe Kent a leaker, Shady Groove?
I think he might have been the leaker, my friend. It looks like the oil separates from the water again.
Yeah, it's amazing. And so Joe Kent resigned. And a lot of times when you are going to get fired, they say you can resign so you can keep your benefits. Okay, guys? That's really all it is, essentially. And
I agree with that.
It makes the optics of the White House look better. Okay? It's optics. Okay? But Joe Kent, who worked under Tulsi Gabbard as director of the National Counterterrorism, has resigned from the National Counterterrorism Center, guys. Did you know that his wife was verbally and out there talking bad and smack about Trump? His wife is a Kaiser. That's her last name, Shady.
Yep. I thought you were showing it. Sorry.
Oh, no. Joe Kent just walked out of the NCTC director. Iran posed no imminent threat. We started this war due to pressure from Israel and its powerful American lobby. This is absolutely bullshit.
It is. That right there is the narrative that they're trying to utilize to end MAGA. They think this is enough to say MAGA is dead everywhere.
It's not going to happen. But is there something else going on, guys? I mean, he should know that President Trump is in control, not Israel. And is there something else going on? Feels like a neocon wing losing its grip fast, Shady. That's what it sounds like to me. Also, once CIA, always CIA. He was also a CIA officer, Shady.
I know. I mentioned that earlier. Like it's the CIA guys, and then just Sean Ryan comes out and he backs up the CIA guys, and now Marjorie Taylor Greene and Tucker Carlson and Massey and Alex Jones are going to have him on and say he's a hero for standing up to globalism.
Yeah. Losing his wonderful wife, Shannon, a great American hero who was killed in the fight against ISIS, guys. So there's a threat right there in his. Then actually Laura Loomer hit the nail on the head here. This is Heather Kaiser, the new wife, Shady. And that's here right there. This is all aboard the gravy train, an independent audit of U.S. funding in Ukraine. Heather Kaiser, she reposted Charlie Kirk stuff, opposing the war in Iran. So she was openly opposing the war in Iran, the first strike, guys. And she was also worked for Max Blumenthal, I think. Was Tulsi and Joe Kent disavowing this post by Max Blumenthal. I don't know. But either way, the wife is a neocon. He's a neocon. We're done with the neocons. We're done with the project for a new American century, Shady.
And that includes people like Tucker.
Mm-hmm.
The messaging is no different. The Bushite clan, the people who at the center of the family are controlling what happens with the politics of the Ayatollah. Okay? This is control. This is what bloodline control means. This means the family is in charge. And I made a statement yesterday, Jeff, that was to highlight this exact thing. Reality has shifted. That's what you're currently experiencing. That's why the narratives are failing. That's why the talking heads are wrong. That's why the future looks better. That's why everyone is on edge, Republican and Democrat. We were in the problem, reaction, solution, or controlled matrix grid of social engineering. Now we are in the MAGA / strongest competitor wins natural reality on or the law of the jungle, as George H.W. Bush called it. This includes neocons, liberals, InfoWars, commies, counterculture, progressives. We're all pieces of the same rigged game, everyone. You can see it clear as day. Candace Owens is InfoWars. Tate Brothers, InfoWars connected. All of these people that are, this Kent guy, InfoWars connected. Sean Ryan, CIA connected. Joe Rogan, all of these talking heads, Theo Vaughn, they all have real big opinions, right? None of these numbnuts knew anything about history. None of them actually do a second's worth of research about anything that's been done ever. And if any of them had any sense at all, they would recognize that the guy that's never lost isn't going to lose now. But they don't make that bet. Why is MG Show making that bet?
Huh.
Why are we making the bet? We could easily go along. We could go downriver with this, couldn't we?
Nope.
I'm making a bet. I'm making a bet right now that Donald Trump is right and that Iran is not the next debacle in the Middle East. As a matter of fact, Iran this is going to fix the problem of the Middle East. And all of a sudden, people are going to have the ability to make decisions about their own future in Iran very soon without anything to do with an Ayatollah.
And Ann Vandersteel is on InfoWars today.
And there you go. Flinfowars. That's what I'm calling them now. Flinfowars.
That's what I've been calling them. Gary VR, thank you. $10 Rumble rant. We got P Wolfer, P Wolf Jr. Thank you so much. 17 Rumble Gold, Shady Groove, Rumble Wallet. But let's go to this, Shady Groove. In 2024, after the Iranian-backed militia kills 3 American soldiers in a coalition base in Jordan, Shady, Joe Kent blamed the U.S. government for baiting Iran. Guess whose show he was on? Tucker.
We left our troops in these vulnerable locations, like on the Jordanian, Syrian, and Iraqi border. Our troops have been attacked, we think, at least 150 times since the October 7th incident began. And so we've seen this coming. This was an inevitable conclusion. So by leaving our troops in these locations, undefended essentially, we left them there as bait because so many people in Washington, D.C. want to go to war with Iran. There's no other logical conclusion other than the fact that we have left them there as bait to be killed by Iranians at the time and place of their choosing so that we can continue to escalate towards a conflict with Iran.
So there is going to be no conflict with Iran, Shady. And you see whose show he was on. He was on Tucker's show, bro.
Yep. And then what did we talk about with Tucker yesterday? Tucker communicating with Iran, right?
Well, did you see also Tucker was actually on IRGC media?
Communications. Yeah.
No, he was on their website. He was used as propaganda.
Oh, I didn't know. I did not see. No, I didn't see that.
Holy
but that
moly.
does not surprise me.
All right, let's just so
wow.
Remember this moment? Iranian dissidents lost it live when they saw Tucker Carlson playing on regime state TV during the 2022 protests. The mullahs used his anti-intervention takes as straight propaganda while slaughtering their own people. Useful idiot or something else, guys? Look at this, Shady.
Wow.
Shady.
Islamic republics, they're airing on Islamic Republic's TV, they're airing live stream. Show that.
Look it.
They're translating it in real time in Persian.
That is crazy.
That is crazy, is it not?
Wow. We might be right.
We might be crazy.
We may be right. We may be crazy.
We may be right.
I think we're right.
We're always wrong until we're right.
Right.
It seems like we have a really good track record, doesn't it? Seriously.
Well, we haven't really lost one yet.
Well, we do apologize for supporting General Flynn early on in this.
I still don't consider that a loss.
Yeah, that's true. It's kind of a win because we wouldn't know half of what we knew today. Also, do you remember when Tucker Carlson defended saying that he was right about COVID? He said, I was right about COVID, but he conveniently forgot. He raced to Mar-a-Lago in March of 2020 and personally urged President Trump to take the deadly virus seriously, helping push the early shutdown panic, guys. Now he's anti-war on Iran. Pick a lane, bro. We remember. Here's the article. Wow. Right? Whew. Crazy, isn't it?
It's that time of year.
Wow. Is it March Madness?
Yes, it is.
Get your brackets ready, guys. Wow. Fuentes has also been on IRGC a lot. They're all connected. They are. Tedro, they're all connected. InfoWars, Flynn, Stone, Tucker, Bannon, all of the whole MAGA movement, Megyn Kelly. Let's keep going to the Hodgkins twins, Patrick Byrne. It's the failed intelligence agencies wrapped themselves around Trump's movement, acted like they were pro-Trump, and then threw the baby out with the bathwater because they don't want Trump to win. They secretly loathe Trump, guys.
They don't want Iran to be destroyed. It's not that they don't want Trump to win. They don't want Iran to be destroyed. If you destroy Iran, you destroy our fear. You got to understand, like, they're all motivated by fear. Watch an episode of InfoWars. The only thing they're doing is shoving fear and doom and gloom down your throat 24/7. Right now, they can't do it. They can't say, Iran is going to destroy all the world. So they're saying Donald Trump is going to destroy all the world. Do you understand how this works? It's a template. It's a matter of what you plug into the template. Nick Fuentes was propped up by InfoWars. Ali Alexander propped up by InfoWars. Candace Owens propped up by InfoWars. All of these different talking heads, surrounding Roger Stone and General Flynn have all been propped up by InfoWars. The QAnon shaman brought on to InfoWars. You know who InfoWars never interviewed? The two of us.
They attacked us.
Not any interest. No, not any interest whatsoever in what is that we are saying to have us over there on any program ever. For what? No, I mean, why can't we come and talk about conspiracy with you, Alex? It doesn't seem like you have very much interest in talking about the non-fear-based truth of the conspiracy.
And let's break it down. The Candace Owens, Tucker Carlson, InfoWars, all of these asshats making these narratives. Assets. That's what I meant. Making these narratives. Step one, make outrageous claim with zero proof. Step two,
got it.
Demand you disprove it.
Yes, good
That's
luck.
how they do it.
That's exactly what they do.
So us being people that need to have our I's dotted and T's crossed, we actually go ahead and have a theory. Then we go ahead and prove it. And then we prove us wrong. See, there's a big difference.
That's the reason that we say we're always wrong until we're right.
Mm-hmm.
Because we're always told that we're wrong until reality catches up with what it is that we're actually discussing. And this has nothing to do with prophecy. This has to do with doing the right thing. And what you can easily game theory predict will happen if you do one right thing, then guess what's going to happen? Another right thing and another right thing. And at the end of the day, if you do enough of right things, the wrong people are taken out of the system and the right people are put into the system and the system begins to function. We as Americans should not be standing around and advocating for no government. If you are an anarchist, you're closer to an Antifa. We're not advocating for no government. What we're advocating for is functional, non-corrupt government, a government that doesn't threaten the people, a government that actually helps the people. When the people are in need, it doesn't say, oh, to hell with you. It sends a few bottles of water, and then it shows up once in a while and says, hey, sorry for this happening to you. This is this person's fault. We're going to get justice for you like this. This is how you have we the people function. This is what your neighbor would do. What if your government started acting more like your neighbor as opposed to your rule enforcement agency?
Yeah.
That's the way that we would like our government to work. And it can work like that. It can work like that from a community level all the way to the federal level if we have the political will of people in power to do the right thing instead of do what it is that they do to get paid.
So I want to go over this too real quick. At this FBI, this is from FBI Director Kash Patel. We have opened the books and produced more documents for the American people than ever before. This is transparency. Did Q ever talk about transparency as the only way, Shady?
Often.
We were given over 50,000 pages of documents to Congress in just 1 year, a 350% increase over the entire tenures of the previous two directors combined. Were we not told that Kashyap Patel, name to remember? Yeah. These are documents on cases, investigations, and public trust abuses sought by the public for years. Arctic Frost, the congressional baseball shooting, Russiagate, many more. They're not hidden anymore. We promise transparency. We're delivering it 24/7 and not slowing down. And then you get there's no Epstein arrest, Shady Groove. I want to just real quick, make a quick comment and a reality check for the no arrest crowd. Jeffrey Epstein was federally arrested July 6, 2019 by the Trump administration. Ghislaine Maxwell was arrested on July 22, 2020 by the Trump administration, both on sex trafficking charges. Now, FBI Director Kash is flooding Congress with 50,000 pages of Russiagate, Arctic Frost, and more. We were promised transparency. They are delivering. Who's mad about that? And remember this, Shady Grove, listen to this. This is awesome.
FBI, that is ludicrous. And it's just a violation of his duty to the American people. So thank you for, Matt and company for handing that out to the American people. We talked about that extensively on my show. It's just another reason why people think Congress is failing them, and that's why we need the gavels back. And I hope when we get them back, we launch an all-out offensive into Hunter Biden's laptop, into the Department of Justice, into the FBI, into the intel community, into the Department of Defense, which I guess is a whole nother episode that we can come back and chat about. But FBI.
Yeah. Cash dropping booms on the MG show, Shady.
Department of Defense, Charles Flynn, inner workings of the J6 op, trying to get MAGA painted as violent vigilantes so that they could eventually turn. Are you noticing all the people that told us that we had to raid the Capitol and that we were all we had to stand up and go get in the faces of federal officials? Are you noticing those are the ones that are saying MAGA is dead?
Mm-hmm.
The violent Antifa segment trying to pretend like that they were MAGA. Those are the ones that are telling me that my movement of doing the right thing and having the right people in place to make government serve me is dead whenever it's more functional than it's ever been. We are gaining from the center all the way into the left. We are gaining left-minded Democrats to recognize that, oh my God, he did close the border. Holy crap, look what Iran was really doing. Oh my goodness, look down and look at me. I'm getting $2,800 more back on my tax returns. Oh, no tax on tips for me. Wow, oh my goodness. Donald Trump maybe isn't so bad. Wow, I can go buy a house right now. Interest rates are under 6% for the first time in a decade. Interesting.
Mm-hmm. Wow, guys.
They're trying to convince us.
Let me accept and start this, Shady Girl, before we go forward. But what a great first segment, guys. They can cancel your accounts, freeze your accounts, and decide what you're allowed to say or support, guys. Buy, say, or support. Okay. Big banks and financial institutions have total control and they use it. That's why financial independence matters more now than ever. Introducing the Rumble Wallet, the wallet built for real freedom, the Rumble Wallet. With that Rumble Wallet, you can control your money, not a bank, not a government, not a tech company. Buy digital assets like Tether Gold, and Bitcoin in one secure place. No permission, no middleman, no cancel button. And when you want to support your favorite creators, the ones you actually believe in, you can use the Rumble Wallet app to directly tip us, those content creators, securely, instantly, and without interference. This isn't a credit line that they can shut off. It's your wallet permanently. Yours to protect your future, yours to protect your family when the system fails and when institutions turn on their own people. Financial sovereignty is the difference between security and vulnerability. What Rumble Wallet isn't about politics. It's about freedom, ownership, and protecting what's yours. So take control today. Download that Rumble Wallet now and step away from the big banks for good. True ownerships, true protection, and true financial freedom.
And it's interesting, too, that this is all happening with the Rumble Wallet and a number of other types of normalization with the crypto markets and connection with the dollar right now with the crypto. Like, let's say, for instance, let me just give you an example real quick to promote the Rumble Wallet. You can put your dollars into the Rumble Wallet, and then you can buy stuff on an exchange like the RUSD, which is a dollar in crypto or in digital currency form. Therefore, you don't have like your dollar invested in Bitcoin. It's not moving up and down with XRP or Bitcoin or anything. It's sitting there on that exchange, ready to make a buy or a purchase. Or you can take your wealth that you've accrued and move it to dollars so that it doesn't keep moving around in Bitcoin. Also, with Tether Gold, that crypto market is connected directly to the price of gold and moves exactly with the price of gold. So these new technologies are things that make globalist bloodline bankers turn over in their graves, if you will.
What? Patriot 17 Pages for Truth says, I saw the MG show promoting ad for Rumble Wallet on X22's show last night.
That would be.
Are they using one of our ads?
Like that you've read?
That I've read, guys?
Is that what you mean by that? Please, who said that?
17 Patriots for.
They didn't ask us for permission to do that.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Do Rumble channel makers to get to pick their own ads? I mean, yes. Okay, so you're saying X22 read a Rumble. It's the same one. It's Rumble Wallet. Oh, it's their ad. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
You're like freaking me out. I'm like,
what? Okay. Yeah, it's our ad that we read for Rumble. There's no copyright infringement. These are ads, guys. Thank you. You guys get used for that on many channels. That's true. I mean, they watch us, Tedro. And by the way, Tedro, you need a Red Castle. Who's going to get them going? We got EMP Hands gifted one subscription. Good to see you in here, Tedro. I see what you're commenting in there. Seems like you've been around for a long time, and you get it. I thank you very much. Appreciate it. Yeah, let's read it like this. Hello and welcome to the
don't.
Let's interrupt this programming. General Flynn is a hero on X22.
Okay.
That's a lot more like it, yeah.
Yeah. Sandy Star White, thank you so much for that, guys. Oh, Sean Linan. Oh, look at Miss APAL Anon again. Look at that, you guys. You're going to get clothed, okay? We're going to get you clothed. Shady. So it is St. Patrick's Day, and I believe we've got the Irish guy in the White House.
Irish guy.
So what we're going to do is we're going to play this and maybe comment on it a little bit. Let's join this real quick. This is President Donald J. Trump. Irish eyes are smiling, Shady.
Irish eyes are always smiling.
I love all the, look at this. I love all the clovers. Look at this.
Are they
I'm looking over a 3-leaf clover that I overlooked B3. You remember that, Shady? All right, here we go.
Unfortunately,
well, thank you very much. It's a great honor to have Taoiseach Martin from Ireland, and somebody that we know, we get along with. We've had a very good relationship, and we continue, and we're going to have some big discussions today concerning trade, concerning lots of different subjects. We have a tremendous trade relationship with Ireland, and we'll keep it that way. I think it's going to be expanded very greatly. Probably they want to talk a little bit about tariffs, but I won't mention that. We won't bring that up.
That's our issue.
We might want to be discussing that a little bit. But it's an honor to have you, and thank you very much for being here. Thank you.
And may I thank you, President, for facilitating this visit, and in what is for us probably one of the most important weeks in the United States. And in many ways, you're affirming the tremendous bonds between Ireland and the United States that go back to the very foundation of this republic. And 35 million people in this country claim Irish descent and Irish heritage. And I spent the first 2 days in Philadelphia, going back really into the heart of that history, and the fact that 3 Irish people born on the island of Ireland signed the Declaration of Independence. It was printed by an Irishman, John Dunlap, and disseminated across the colonies. And Charles Thompson, who we discussed earlier, he designed the bald eagle, the seal of the US. So in many ways, our connection is foundational, it's historic. And the Irish helped to build America. We're very proud of that connection. And we think you hosting us here in the White House is affirmation to all the Irish Americans out there and to our diaspora in this country for what they've contributed to America. And that's very much through the prism this year, the America 250. It's a very exciting year, and we're discovering new things. I mean, even a guy from my own city, a guy called Stephen Moylan, who was an aide-de-camp to Washington, he's regarded as the guy who came up with the phrase "the United States of America," first written record, and it's in New York in the museum and so on. That's the nature, the history of those bonds.
Well, you told me something before that was maybe the most interesting of all. How many presidents are in some way related through blood with Ireland?
23.
Can you believe
23
it?
Irish presidents.
They're great politicians.
How many do we have?
The Irish are great politicians.
Absolutely.
No, but think of it. 23 are in some form, and many of them have gone to Ireland.
Absolutely.
Grant
went to Ireland after his presidency.
Right.
I was saying earlier, Ronald Reagan's visit was an extraordinary one in a place called Ballyporeen in County Tipperary. And of course, John F. Kennedy, whose grandfather was Irish, came back, I think, early '63. And that's a very memorable visit because of what tragedy that happened subsequently in the assassination, which touched people in Ireland very deeply. So the Kennedy family strong resonation with Ireland.
Well, we like the family too.
Yeah.
One person in particular, one very non-controversial.
I know
person.
that.
But now he's doing a very good job. He really is. But we have more, I think, people here by far than you have in Ireland that are of Irish descent. We have, so you have quite a few, but we have a lot.
You have a lot more than we have.
It's pretty amazing. By a lot.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you very much. It's a great honor. And any questions for me?
No, they don't have any.
You're going to visit Ireland in September. Will you stay at Doonbeg?
Well, I'm having, it's a great thing. My son and my family, we have a great golf complex in Ireland, one of the best in the world, called Doonbeg. It's in Doonbeg. And it's been amazing. And Rory McIlroy loves it. They all love it. Great golfers. You have a tremendous golf tradition. And it was chosen for the Irish Open, which is a big deal. That's a big event.
Absolutely, looking forward to it.
Everybody wants me to be there. You just said, I hope you're going to go.
I did.
And we're going to try. We are going to try. But it would be an honor. But it was a great honor to be chosen. They only choose the best courses in the world for the, for the big opens. It's one of the big ones, the Irish Open. It's really become one of the most important tournaments in the world. It's going to do. I hear it's going to be a fantastic success.
It'll be a great success.
Yeah. It's a very,
Mr. President.
it's a very hard course.
What progress have you made, Mr. President, in getting America's allies to assist the U.S. in escorting those?
Thank you, Gary.
Well,
Thank you, Lisa.
We don't need too much help, and we don't need any help, actually. In fact, we just put out a notice. I was watching over the last couple of weeks, and all of our NATO allies were very much in favor of what we did. They thought it was very important. We were just discussing it, actually. Very important that we take out the nuclear threat from Iran, and we've done that very strongly, very powerfully. We've wiped out their Navy, wiped out their military in every aspect. Their Air Force is now decimated. They have no Air Force, no Navy. They have no radar. Their radar is entirely gone. Their anti-aircraft machinery is gone. Everything is gone. Their leaders are gone. I guess one of their top person was, they say, a lot of people say their actual top was killed yesterday, along with somebody else who was responsible for the killing. The man that was responsible for the killing of 32,000 people over the last 2 weeks, he was in charge of the killing of protesters. It's an evil group. I mean, they've killed much more than 32,000 people. And the man who was responsible for that was also killed yesterday. And all of the NATO allies agreed with us. But they don't want to, despite the fact that we help them so much, we have thousands of soldiers in different countries all over the world, and they don't want to help us, which is amazing. I mean, amazing. And I didn't do a full court press because I think if I did, they probably would be. But we don't need help. That war has been long prosecuted, as far as I'm concerned, almost from day one. We knocked out many of these things. We knocked out the Navy essentially in a couple of days. But I was surprised to see that NATO, while they agree that it was a very important thing to do, they agree fully. Nobody said, "Oh, you shouldn't do it." They would have had a nuclear weapon within 1 month of when we had the B-2 bombers bomb the nuclear potential. I call it the nuclear dust. So I think NATO's making a very foolish mistake, and I've long said that I wonder whether or not NATO would ever be there for us. So this was a great test, because we don't need them, but they should have been there. The other thing is, and I think very important, we didn't have to be there for Ukraine. Biden chose to spend hundreds of billions of dollars on Ukraine, and I guess the head of Germany just made a statement that, they weren't involved and they have nothing to do with the war. But at the same time, they think we did a great thing by knocking them out. Nobody wants to have Iran, or anybody, but nobody wants to have Iran with a nuclear, because these people are crazy. They're absolutely crazy, and they're vicious, violent. I mean, they killed, think of it, they killed, now I hear it's about 41,000 people. They put out a notice 2 days ago. Anybody that protests will be immediately shot and killed. That's pretty tough stuff. So everyone agrees with us, but they don't want to help. And we as the United States have to remember that, because we think it's pretty shocking.
Another example set.
President Macron has just said in the last hour that he will never join a...
Marco's just kind of sitting there going, I hope I don't get another job.
I don't need another job.
I love Marco.
100%.
Task force in the Strait of Hormuz until hostilities finish. Yet yesterday you said...
Who said that? Who said?
President Macron of France. What's your reaction to that, sir?
Well, he'll be out of office very soon, so we'll have to see. I don't know.
President Trump, on Doonbeg, you're building an extension to it at the moment, but there's been an objection put in, and it's being held back at the moment due to small snails. What are you disappointed about that?
Planning Commission is
I have not heard that. No.
Planning Commission.
I mean, the course was built and it's been operated very successfully. Somebody's objecting. An environmental group is objecting to small snails at Doonbeg. I don't know. It doesn't sound like the biggest problem I've ever had.
How close the EU is to announce a coalition of willing to secure the Strait of Hormuz? Which countries are joining and which countries have...
Well, we've had great support from the Middle East. Qatar has been great. UAE has been they've been great. Saudi Arabia has been terrific. Bahrain has been very good. The Middle Eastern countries have been very strong in their support. And of course, Israel has been our partner. Israel's been very, very strong along with us. It's been a very strong collaboration. I was against Iran long before I even thought about Israel being against Iran. If you look back Many years ago, I talked about Iran was a big threat to this country, to this world of ours, and turned out to be I was right. In fact, I said you have to attack Karg Island. You have to attack them years ago when they were acting up. They've been acting up for 37, 47, I guess now 48 years. For 48 years, they've been bad players, vicious players, and you can't let them have a nuclear weapon. If they got a nuclear weapon, I would say they would have used it within 24 hours after having it. And they would have had it if we didn't bomb them out from a great raid with the B-2 bombers 8 months ago or so. You would have had a nuclear war in the Middle East and maybe beyond. I think it would have hit Europe. Maybe not Ireland, but it would have hit Europe. I think you would have been a nice piece of it. It all gets you. It's big enough that you would have been affected. They would have hit Europe eventually.
All right, Yeti, let's go ahead and we'll go to our break. See you guys in a minute. Yeti, take us away.
It's finally here, our second annual mega sale. This sale only comes around once a year, so take advantage of the best offers ever while you can. For example, save 50% on our Giza Dream bed sheets, as low as $29.98. And for the first time ever on TV, My Pillow mattresses and My Pillow mattress toppers, as low as $99.98. And you save 50% on our Lux Pure 6-piece towel sets, regular $69.98. Now only $39.98. And our best-selling standard My Pillows, regular $49.98, on sale for $17.98. Wait on it, mega sale, only $14.98. So go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use this promo code to take advantage of our second annual mega sale. But wait, there's more. To make the mega sale even more special, when you order right now, your order's going to ship absolutely free.
Hello to all of you beautiful patriots out there.
First of all, let me just thank you all for supporting this show. We wouldn't be here without you. But I have a huge announcement regarding donations.
It has come to our attention that using the Rumble app is taking an additional 30% of your donation to the show.
Let me explain. According to our TOS, Rumble takes 20% of all donations made through the web browser.
And that's a 20%. It's a good deal if you consider other platforms like YouTube and such.
There is a hidden cost that we just found out. For example, we received the generous $500 donation from Spilty, and thank you so much for that, from the Rumble app on Apple. So Rumble took 20% and Apple took an additional 30%. We brought that to Rumble and they said, well, Rumble's take of tips and donations is 20%. That's if the transaction is done through the web browser. If using the Android or iOS app, it's an additional 30% collected by those platforms.
So please use the web browser to make your donations to the show and avoid the hidden fees by Apple and Android.
That's right. You can also support us at GiveSendGo/HelpMGShow, mg.show/donate. We have PayPal and Cash App. Both are at RealMGShow or $RealMGShow. Please help us out. We appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
The MG Show. Not funded by dark money, but funded by listeners like you.
Remember, thumbs up if you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to ring that bell. Stay tuned, we're going to start right now.
dark skies are rolling in. The thunder sounds like a stampede. That river's gonna overflow. A storm is coming and I'm glad to see. Bloodlines and their evil seed, they've tried to hide their wicked deeds. They thought that they would never be found. They underestimate us. We won't be bound. The storm is coming. The storm is coming, yeah. The storm is coming. The storm is coming. Prepare for years like you. We know we'll be fine. Unlike the deep state who face justice in time. Buckle up now as this storm gets worse. Only way we break free from this curse. We will be free. We will be free. We will be free. We will be free. The storm is coming. The storm is coming. Yeah. The storm is coming. The storm is coming.
The storm is coming. It's kind of here. But I love these videos that Scottish Anon right there in chat makes, Tartarium1 on X.
Very good.
The reason why I like these songs, he does a good job. He's using Suno and he's writing songs via the Q posts. So it's just a good time for us to get non-copyright music for YouTube. They're still looking to see if we can be monetized since November. It should take only 30 days.
Wait, Jeff.
What?
No, November, that's December, January, February, March. That's 4. You said 4 times 30 is
30 days.
90. That's 120 days already, sir.
So we're good, right? We're still within the time frame?
Yeah, yeah, they should be getting to us any day now.
But I like it because it shows you the Q posts, okay? And people are that weren't part of the Q movement like we were, okay? We researched it, we reported on it, we were attacked heavily for it, okay? And it was it's just one of those things where if you weren't part of it, you may not understand it. And when people don't understand something, they automatically stop it. You see what I mean? They automatically disparage it, or they automatically, just, go the wrong way on it. They automatically look at what the mainstream media is saying about it, right? Look at what the mainstream media says about Trump. Look at what the mainstream media says about Q, or what they call QAnon, okay? There is no such thing as QAnon. There's only Q and then anons that were usurped into our movement, put into our movement to usurp the Q post to put us on the wrong path. But we are on the right path now. This timeline is hot, Shady.
Well, this is the timeline, and you can tell what they did, and you can tell that right now they're trying to cover up for what they did. An example is actually pretty clear with this Joe Kent thing, and the way that we are seeing the example that we are watching. What we're trying to do is we're trying to read and look into the geopolitical landscape with a fine-tooth comb and look directly at the people and what they are doing, or what their actions are. What specific actions are, not what their words are. This is very, very critical for you to recognize that what their words are don't mean anything. It's what their actions are that mean everything. And their actions right now, for instance, this guy, Joe Kent, taking, trying to take the, steal some more thunder, trying to act like it's Israel puppeting America. That is the narrative. It is the opposite. It is America puppeting Israel. America is eliminating the Zionist control that has been over the overarching elephant in the room for a long, long time, going back to ancient history. And so what we're effectively seeing is we're seeing Donald Trump take the real bully in the room and punch him in the mouth. And the CIA guys, Sean Ryan, Joe Kent, Tucker Carlson, Alex Jones, all have connections to the clowns in America. Well, all of those guys aren't very happy with the reality that you're getting rid of the boogeyman that they rely on for their fear and their doom and gloom, because their model of substance, their way to make money, is going to fall by the wayside, because we're not going to be afraid of anybody anymore.
That's right. Our Gary says it's not hard to understand Q if you pay attention. The news really does unlock the map. Yes, it does.
One piece by piece.
100%.
On your own. You don't need us. You can see that on your own.
Exactly. We just are here together, right? I mean, just trying to figure out what's up and what's down.
Celebrating the success.
Yeah, I love that. I don't know if we got to it yet, but I wanted to point out a specific piece of this interview here, Shady. Listen to this right here.
Stop them. I stopped them twice. I stopped them my first term when I terminated the Iran nuclear deal, which was Barack Obama's deal. It was maybe the worst deal I've ever seen. It gave everything to Iran, including billions of dollars in green cash. I don't mean cash. I mean green cash flown over by airplanes. I can't to this day believe that was allowed to happen. And come to think of it, it would be a good thing for somebody to look at.
Wow.
Does the president have the power to hand?
Oh, we could look at some Q posts and tell us all about it.
Listen to what he says. I'm sorry. This is huge right here. This is the part. I'm sorry.
My bad.
Here we go.
Hundreds of millions of dollars of cash to terrorists. But it began with that, and I terminated that deal. Stop them.
So can a president authorize hundreds of millions of dollars in cash, Shady?
Can they?
So how were the pallets of cash divided? How many planes were used to transport? Who operated the planes? What shadow agency directed operations? Why wasn't the money simply wire transferred? Green cash, right? U.S. had authority to open bank-to-bank transfers. How do you prevent financial T-logs? How were the cash withdrawals in the EU categorized or labeled? Where did the cash originate from? It originated from you and your tax-paying dollars, Shady.
And a matter of fact, he just mentioned, he talked about, this is probably the fourth or fifth time he's talked about it in each one of his little speeches. He's starting to bring this up in his little, in his repertoire of what he's mentioning. And he's saying, he's telling the story now. Oh, well, they got all of these banks together. They took every bit of cash that was in the state of Maryland and they brought it all out to the tarmac and they started stacking it on 747s and they gutted the planes to stack the cash. Like, that's what he's saying. He's telling that story. Well, do you think that if there was a bunch of clowns that have been running the covert operations called Iran for about 60 years or so would be nervous about the idea of any of this stuff being uncovered about, oh, You don't think those billions of dollars on pallets of cash were used to buy materials from foreign countries so that they could build weapons and missiles with at a fever pitch, do ya?
To create the endless wars, to create a boogeyman to keep you in fear, guys.
Forever. Endless fear.
Forever. Wow.
Generated out of nothing other than, a few thousand people wearing rag and towel heads in the sands of Iran.
I also want to ask you a question, Shady.
Okay. I'm going to try my best.
What are we talking about for the last season and this season, every Friday and on our second hour in Rumble Premium? What are we talking about?
This book.
What's it called?
This subject. Bloodlines of the Illuminati by Fritz Springmeier and the Paysor Trust.
What did President Trump talk about with the Irish dude here, Shady?
What is that?
Bloodlines.
No, don't even say that.
23 presidents in Ireland are all related. We found out that every president except for 2, Shady, are all related as well in America.
They are. And they're all, only a couple of them actually cut the strings.
Mm-hmm. Isn't that interesting? I would say that President Trump is going against his bloodline. I would say that RFK went against his bloodline. McKinley, right? And a couple of others. Reagan tried to, but he was, handled by a CIA head. Bush.
Well, Reagan didn't. So Reagan didn't understand what was going on around him. Very similar things happened to Reagan that happened to Donald Trump.
He did understand the communist stuff, though.
No, he did understand the communist stuff. He didn't understand that he picked a communist.
That's
to be
right.
his vice president.
Well,
you see,
the GOP picked him for him.
Just like they picked what's his nut Pence for
Pence
Trump.
for Trump, exactly.
Right. So you have to take what we've been explaining to you, that whole thing about the Scaramucci play that Jeff's explained to you a lot here to show you how this happened. Well, that was happening to every president, and it's part of the way that they controlled him. So the guy that's running for office doesn't really run into this brick wall until he gets in there. And then once he gets in there, he realizes that every force is working against him. And Reagan was pushing back against George H.W. Bush's minions. Not necessarily George H.W. Bush, but George H.W. Bush's people, the State Department, Rumsfeld, the other people that he had put around him. Similar to those people, correct, were controlling the narrative in the media. So Reagan think about that. He's a Hollywood guy, a little bit of a big character, kind of like Donald Trump was, but he didn't have the wherewithal, the understanding of what was actually happening to manage it. What did Donald Trump do whenever that started to happen to him? He put out a dissemination project called Q.
Yeah.
To change the narrative, to generate a back channel.
Us, Shady.
To generate a back channel to communicate so that the president of the United States could communicate directly to the American people without a filter, and you guys could discern with it what you want. That's the only reason he won the second. He would have never won in 24 had he not ventured down the road.
President Trump
these people
absolutely had to bypass the mainstream CIA communist media and talk directly to you via his X posts, Twitter posts at the time. Now it's True Social posts. Okay. And then they used Q because people like Shady and I were like, okay, now what? Right. We needed to have more information to understand exactly what was happening. And we got it from Q.
That's a great point to make. It's a great point to make that Q started in 2017 after the event that happened at the Harvest Festival in Las Vegas. Okay, after all the Ben Salman, all the whole thing that was happening was happening. No one really understood what was going on in the administration. 6-8 months after he had been inaugurated, there was zero messaging getting out that was real.
Yeah.
And so the only way that they could come up with to actually communicate to you was this unbelievable idea that we can just publish information and we can authenticate the poster but not identify. Authenticate the poster, not identify. That goes against every single thing that you've ever seen for people to ignore anonymous sources. You can only ignore anonymous sources until it's been authenticated. Then you cannot ignore the anonymous source anymore. That's why all these people that say, oh, you believe some sort of anonymous poster. No, we believe that Q was authenticated by President Trump and was speaking directly for their administration against all of the corruption that we are currently exposing today.
And another thing to just think about, let's put on our common sense hat and logically think about how many zero deltas there were. Okay. A zero delta means that President Trump posts in the exact same minute, as Q. There was many. I was actually one of them. Well, it happened again. And then they posted my Red Castle, Green Castle thing again. I mean, that was like posted 14, 15 times. Just that one graphic, guys. So how many do you think there were roughly, Shady? I mean, I know we might be wrong, but there's 20 some odd.
I thought we were closer to 40. I think it was like 36.
Okay.
36, 35, something like that. There were 35.
Let's be conservative and just say 20. I think it's more too, like you said.
It's impossible.
That's mathematically impossible, guys. You can't do that. All right.
But we can even draw it down closer than that. You're talking about 60 seconds. Okay. A minute, 60 seconds. In other words, a post goes up on the board. Donald Trump makes a tweet within 60 seconds. But they got it. We have a term out there. It's called 3-second Dan.
Yep.
This has absolutely nothing to do with his sex life. This is 100% about how close can they get a delta from the moment that the delta wouldn't count if the Q post came before the Trump tweet. You realize that you got to have the Trump tweet, then the Q post. You got to have this synced up. 3-second Dan was because out of all of the attempts to make zero deltas,
zero colon 0.00, they try, but they weren't able to do it.
The closest they could get was 3 seconds. So then we start giving Dan Scavino a hard time because it's 3-second Dan. He can't get the zero. Yeah. That's what that was all about. You want to pretend like that's not real and it didn't happen? You go right ahead. You're down with whatever. Go be down with whatever you want to be down with. I watched it happen. We saw it happen in real time.
Yes, we lived it real time, guys. And that's the difference, okay?
Not going to gaslight us.
Not what Donny O'Sullivan says on CNN, not what Anderson Vanderbilt says on CNN. Cooper, right? He's a Vanderbilt bloodline. He's intel agencies. Tucker Carlson is also intel agency. His dad, guys.
I was there was
Alex Jones too.
Jane Fonda was just on there. She's like, oh, I got a stake in CNN. I slept with the guy that started it. She literally said that yesterday. You see what? Now we got all these different, like Tucker Carlson got his start on CNN. So maybe Tucker should go back to CNN and start a new rendition of Crossfire.
I mean, he's on the Iranian regime's propaganda site being fully translated. What is going on?
It's not like they're putting words in his mouth.
There, Shady? Do you think our show could be on Iranian?
No, because the CIA doesn't like us. They've been trying to shut us down for 8 years. If they wanted us, they would have brought us over there a long time ago. General Flynn tried to bring us into his leadership council. How did that work out for him?
General Flynn brought me in for a what is it called? A deposition to find out.
Because he thinks that we're Q.
Pretty interesting.
That's what this is all about.
That's what this is. That's why they hate this show.
That's exactly why they hate it.
It's funny because we have DeFango. You guys all remember DeFango if you're in this movement. He actually came underneath one of my posts saying that we thought you were Q after MAGA Coalition was called out because they were calling me out. And then Q called out the MAGA Coalition. They thought we were Q at that point.
And DeFango's out there trying to say that he started it. And that it was taken over and that we're the ones that took it over. That's what he's trying to say to you. What he's not explaining to you is that what they were doing, what DeFango and crew were doing, was something that was very similar. I believe DeFango and crew were behind the FBI Anon stuff.
Yeah.
I think they were behind some of these other little ops that were similar to that. And I think what Q did was it took this architecture of the way that they were doing this whole thing, like surreptitiously working against the government, and turned it on its head and used it for the vital important project to get real information to us. Because remember, this doesn't just have to do with stuff about the deep state. This also had to do with COVID information that we didn't know in real time, showing us when COVID came here, showing us when where the virus came from, showing us the actual documents about COVID before anybody had any of that stuff. Talking about the nursing home stuff before anybody knew anything about throwing old people in COVID-infected nursing homes. So all of these different things came from Q during a time when they were trying to destroy our country, guys. They didn't want you to have a vaccine. They wanted you to be on lockdown forever. Once the global economy is ruined, it never comes back. America becomes a totalitarian state forever.
Commie. Yeah. Rockchip says, FYI, some of the article links for the attacks on Jeff and Shannon are listed on the MG Show Give, Send, Go page. GiveSendGo.com/help MG Show. Thank you so much for that.
Those are badges of honor to us.
Yeah, I'm honored. Yeah,
because I see people like the intelligence agencies as Flynn. I see the intelligence agencies as Tucker Carlson. I see the intelligence agencies as Media Matters. And all of these different intelligence agencies have made all these hit pieces. It's fine if you don't like Matrix and Shady. We're cool with that. We know we don't like you either. That's fine. You need to have a real reason.
Yeah.
You can't just make things up and act like that, because they call us a patriot, but meanwhile, X-22 is not a patriot. Badlands Media aren't patriots, but we are PAY-triots because we're wanting to sit here and talk to you guys for 2 hours a day about stuff.
But Shady, Jeff has speeding tickets and red shoes, okay?
It's important for us to be able to share with you what it is that we experienced. This is the reason that we're here. Thank you for keeping us here. But the reason that we're here is to share with you the experience that we had during the drops and connecting them in the future going forward. This is not just about like right now. And this is also not just about the Q drops. This is about the truth movement in America. We are the tip of the spear. This show represents the tip of the spear. And you're going to see in the future how we're going to expand our reach from this show, because from here, we can go 1,000,000 miles. Why? Because the InfoWars clowns have destroyed their credibility. Now there's millions of people that are laying around going, I got nobody to pay any attention to.
What just happened? Yeah.
Well, we have a place for them to land.
Right here. Shady,
we're welcoming them.
You were saying that somebody messaged you that we are actually a video commercial on X-22?
That it wasn't specific of X-22's broadcast, but yes, there is an actual evidence that our video of you reading ads is making it as a Rumble ad on other shows.
That's awesome.
But
and
if
I
it happens to
understand
be on X-22, that'd be hilarious.
And I understand that they took out the MG Show logo.
That's what I'm getting
So
reports of.
we're going to need to put like MG Show things like on our things here. What do you think?
Well, I think that I agree with that. But with that one right there, we actually that would let me put it back up. Let me see. It's close. Like you can see it pretty good.
What's up?
Yeah, it's a little bit because it's green. We'll get some black and white ones that we can put up. We'll stick them right on the side of the microphone.
Well, it doesn't look
right
black
here.
and white.
You go right there. Back of the microphone.
So this is an actual green. Would you guys want one of these? It's a magnet. Would you press 17 if you guys would want one of these? Let's just see. Let's just gauge.
Magnet.
This is a magnet. It's an MG Show magnet. Would you guys like one of these? Just a question.
Just a question. Just
Let's
asking
see.
for friends.
17s, if you guys. So I should put a forehead tattoos of a logo. we should get tats, Shady. Huh?
I'm really loving their enthusiasm today.
Look at the 17s. You guys would get one.
Oh,
Okay.
they would. They do want a magnet. Look.
Oh. All right. And what if one is like red, white, and blue, like like that one sticker that we got? Would you guys like that? I think they would. Look at the 17, Shady. I'm going to hold you to it.
With no second number.
If we go ahead and same number. If we go ahead and put these up, I expect every one of you to buy one. At least one.
No.
Come on.
Oh man, that's
you're going to be held to it.
Then they're going to have to get out their wallet and they're going to have to go to the mailbox and retrieve it.
I know it's a little bit of a hassle, but we can do it.
Hustle
for the hassle. All right, look at the 17s. Thank you guys for that. So let's go back to President Trump's meeting here, Shady. It's pretty interesting, and then we'll break in a little bit. But just check this out, Shady.
We're getting a break.
Mr. President, your director of national counterterrorism, Joe Kent, he just resigned today. He said he can't support your conflict with Iran. What's your reaction to that? And did you talk
Well, I read his statement. I always thought he was a nice guy, but I always thought he was weak on security, very weak on security. I didn't know him well, but I thought he seemed like a pretty nice guy. But when I read his statement, I realized that it's a good thing that he's out, because he said that Iran was not a threat. Iran was a threat. Every country realized what a threat Iran was. The question is whether or not they wanted to do something about it. And many people, many of the greatest military scholars are saying for years that presidents should have taken out Iran because they wanted a nuclear weapon. They were, if we didn't do the attack, or if, I'll go a step further, if I didn't terminate the Iran nuclear deal given to us, one of the worst deals ever made by Barack Hussein Obama. Remember when they sent Boeing 757s over there, loaded with cash? Hundreds of millions of dollars. You would have been very happy. This was a wonderful, they sent hundreds of millions. People forget that. Does anybody remember? Right? You remember. Hundreds of millions of dollars in a Boeing 757. I think they had two of them. Loaded. They took the seats out and they put cash. It was so much that there wasn't a bank in Virginia, Maryland, or D.C. that had any money left. They stripped them of all their money, put it into place, sent it to Iran, almost as rent.
CIA.
That's not going to happen with Trump. And nobody ever did anything about it. Nobody ever said anything about it. Can you imagine if I did that?
You did.
So they've been a threat for a long time. But they've really been a threat. If I didn't terminate Obama's horrible deal that he made, the Iran nuclear deal, you would have had a nuclear war 4 years ago. You would have had nuclear holocaust, and you would have had it again if we didn't bomb the site. So when somebody is working with us that says they didn't think Iran was a threat, we don't want those people, because, and there are some people I guess that would say that, but they're
so
not.
he's directly, that's the Kent guy. If some people have said that Iran isn't directly a threat, so he's addressing Kent right there, Shady.
Yes, he is. Well, actually, he's addressing the CIA narrative.
Once CIA,
always CIA.
Not smart people, or they're not savvy people. Iran was a tremendous threat. And virtually every NATO nation, and this is the thing, if they told me it wasn't a threat, and therefore they don't want to help, but when they say it was a threat, and it was a major threat, every one of them, I think every one of them, I don't know of one that said they're not a threat, but when they say it was a threat, but we're not going to help, I think they're very foolish. You know, it's interesting. It's interesting because I could say this, that what's happening in Ukraine, we're probably in there for $400 billion. We don't spend any money anymore. They buy it from us and they pay full price. But Biden gave them between $350 and $400 billion of equipment and cash. Someday they'll have to find out about the cash. And you could say that wasn't a threat, you know, we're helping them. So we helped them, and they didn't help us, and I think that's a very bad thing for NATO.
Are there any repercussions for NATO, and are you still going to China?
Well, yeah, on China, it's a little different story. We're resetting the meeting, and it looks like it'll take place in about 5 weeks. We're working with China. They were fine with it. We're going to say, I look forward to seeing President Xi. He looks forward to seeing me, I think. But I do look forward to seeing him. We have a good relationship with China. China actually has become economically for us very good, as you know. It's much different than it was in the past. And we have a very good working relationship with China. So we're making it in about 5 or 6 weeks.
Any repercussions for NATO for not supporting you on this? Any repercussions?
Well, no, I just think that it's not good for a partnership when they say what you're doing is a great thing, but we're not going to help. You know, they say what you did is a great thing, but we're not going to help.
Mr. President,
pretty crappy ally.
In Iran, because the Iranian regime has told Sky News, if you put boots on the ground in Iran, it will be another Vietnam. Are you afraid of that?
No, I'm not afraid of. I'm really not afraid of anything.
Vietnam now.
Are you rethinking the United States' relationship with NATO possibly getting out?
Well, I'm disappointed in NATO that we spend trillions of dollars on NATO. Think of it, trillions over the years, many trillions of dollars. It's one of the reasons we have deficits and we help other countries. And when they don't help us, I mean, it's certainly something that we should think about. I don't need Congress for that decision. As you probably know, I can make that decision myself. I'd work with some very smart people. And I'd always deal with Congress anyway, but I don't need Congress for that decision. But, you know, when you say rethink, I have nothing currently in mind, but I will say that I'm not exactly thrilled when we help them with Ukraine. Look, Ukraine would have been over in one day if we didn't help. Frankly, Ukraine would have been over the first day. They had the best equipment in the world. It was our equipment, given by Sleepy Joe Biden. No charge, no charge. Hundreds of billions of dollars of the best equipment in the world, no charge. I will say that I'm not happy about it.
Mr. President, two questions, one on Iran and one on Cuba. Is Iran now a bigger foreign policy priority for you than China? And on Cuba, the Cuban government.
Iran is just a military operation to me. Iran is something that was essentially largely over in 2 or 3 days because the Navy was wiped out almost immediately. The Air Force came next. The anti-aircraft came next. I mean, we're flying over Iran. We could take out their electric capacity in 1 hour. We have all there's nothing they can do right now because everything is knocked out. They have no radar, no anti-aircraft. They have nothing. And we don't, and it was a decision I made. We discussed it. Pete, Marco, JD, all of us, Chris, we discussed it. We can knock out their electricity in a matter of minutes if we wanted to. There's nothing they can do about it. We can knock out their oil in Carg Island. The only thing we didn't take down was their oil because it was the pipes, very complex.
Just want to jump in here and make mention of this so that we can remember. Most of you that are listening to this, I would say a large majority of you were around whenever we invaded Iraq and Afghanistan way back in the early 2000s, and what took place there. We went in and we literally, one of the first things that we hit was their electrical infrastructure, destroyed it. Why? Because the idea was that we were going to use our contractors to build it back. We destroyed all of that. We destroyed the airport runways. We destroyed it was an astonishing number. Like 60 or 70% of every city's transit infrastructure was somehow negatively affected in those countries, permanently debilitating their ability to go to the grocery store or to do anything normal in society whatsoever. George Bush called it shock and awe. Interestingly enough, he left a lot of the military people and equipment in place as they were bombing citizen infrastructure from border to border across the sands of Iraq. So right there, you're seeing somebody tell you something completely different. We're leaving their oil infrastructure intact. We are leaving their electrical infrastructure intact. We are attempting to do the best we can to not eliminate or obliterate citizen areas. This is not Iraq. You are not seeing incompetence. Doesn't matter how many Joe Kents there are in the world. Doesn't matter how many Sean Ryans there are. Doesn't matter how many of these talking heads that are acting like that Donald Trump is being controlled by Israel. It's the opposite. They are attempting. They are not creative. They can't create anything. They can only manipulate what's already there. So their only tool in their toolbox is deception. So anything that they say can be 100% turned around 180 degrees to understand what they mean, then proceed with recognizing what it is they actually said to you. Thank you.
But if you do that, it'll take them forever to rebuild, meaning whoever, and hopefully it's a sane group of people, but whoever it is that's going to be running that, and we're going to try to get people that are going to run it well, and it's going to be a prosperous, wonderful place. It used to be, if you go back, it used to be the people are great, the people are smart and energetic, and it used to be very successful. Now it's a country run by fear. It's a country where they tell protesters, don't go outside because if you do, we're going to kill you. Yeah, Cuba. Well, Cuba right now is in very bad shape. They're talking to Marco, and we'll be doing something with Cuba very soon. We're really focused on this, but we're dealing with Cuba. Marco, do you want to say a couple of words about it?
Yeah, I mean, Cuba has an economy that doesn't work and a political and governmental system that can't fix it. So they have to change dramatically. What they announced yesterday is not dramatic enough. It's not going to fix it. So they've got some big decisions to make over there.
But Secretary Rubio, do you support, and I know this is up to Congress, but do you support easing the trade embargo if you get more cooperation from Havana?
Well, I'm not going to discuss what we would talk about or not. Suffice it to say that the embargo is tied to political change on the island. The embargo is codified. And but the bottom line is their economy doesn't work. It's a non-functional economy. It's an economy that has survived. That revolution, it's not even a revolution, that thing they have has survived on subsidies from the Soviet Union and now from Venezuela. They don't get subsidies anymore, so they're in a lot of trouble. And the people in charge, they don't know how to fix it. And so they have to get new people in charge. That's what.
And the relationship we have with Venezuela has been, I think you could almost say, incredible. It's been really good. It's been good for Venezuela, and it's been good for us. And I congratulate the Venezuelan baseball team because that was a big win. And I guess they play another game tonight in the finals. And I said a lot of good things have happened to Venezuela lately. This is the first time they've ever been in the finals, and it was pretty exciting. Yeah.
Iran is just a military operation to you, but do you not have a day after plan? And if so, what is your day after plan for Iran?
Well, we have a lot. Look, if we left right now, it would take 10 years for them to rebuild. But we're not ready to leave yet. But we'll be leaving in the near future. We'll be leaving in pretty much the very near future. But right now, they've been decimated from every standpoint. And again, we've had great support from countries in the Middle East, great support. But we've had no support from, essentially, no support from NATO.
What about your relationship with London? Has it been damaged by the fact that Keir Starmer isn't supporting you in this war? And has your opinion of Keir Starmer changed because of this?
Well, he hasn't been supportive, and I think it's a big mistake. You know, they make a lot of money on trade with the United States. I went out of my way, as you know, they couldn't make a deal with Biden because they had no real administration to make a deal, Biden. But we made a deal. We made a good deal for them, and frankly, probably wasn't appreciated. I do look forward to seeing the king. He's going to be coming, as you know, very shortly. But no, I was disappointed because Keir was willing to send 2 aircraft carriers after we won, because essentially there's no threat for the aircraft carriers right now. And I said, no, we want things sent before the war, not after the war is won. So, yeah, I'm disappointed with Keir. I like him. I think he's a nice man, but I'm disappointed. You see that man right there? You know who that is?
Churchill.
That's the late, great Winston Churchill. And Barack Hussein Obama did not want his bust in this office. Did you know that? And Barack Hussein Obama sent that bust back to England. They didn't want it. And when I came in, I was asked if I wanted it. I said, absolutely, I want it. And I put it right there, Winston Churchill. And, you know, unfortunately, Keir is not Winston Churchill.
Do you have
No, hold it.
Right. Just could I hold it? Just make a number of points. First of all, I think, notwithstanding what has happened, the transatlantic relationship between Europe and the US is very, very important on a number of fronts. And I think we've had issues over the last year or two, but we settled them. And I think many of these leaders engaged with you, particularly on trade initially. Remember all the fuss last year, but we got a landing zone between Europe and the US, and I think we can get a landing zone again. And I think I just met with Keir Starmer last week. The British-Irish relationship is a very important one. Churchill was a great wartime leader, although in Ireland there was kind of a different perspective in terms of during our own war of independence and so on. He created his own bit of difficulties for us. But that said, he was a great wartime hero. Keir Starmer has done a lot to reset the Irish-British relationship. I just want to put that on the record. But I do believe that he's a very earnest, sound person who I think you have a capacity to get on with. You've got on with him before, and you've got on with other European leaders as well. Sure. And I think you have that capacity again. And I think everyone accepts. I mean, you cannot have a rogue state with a nuclear weapon or the capacity for a nuclear weapon. Iran was a sponsor of terrorism. We sanctioned Iran. All European countries did as a terror, and the IRGC in particular as a terrorist organisation. They sponsored Hamas. They sponsored Hezbollah. The Houthis. They created mayhem, a most maligned force in the Middle East. The Irish position has always been ultimately, can we resolve this? Can we get peace? And obviously there's preconditions before you get to that situation. We had our own conflict, which went on for 30 years, and we learned a lot from that in terms of how to try and bring about peace. And I think I've listened to you in terms of, you're correct. I mean, our hearts go to the Iranian people who have been repressed and suppressed for so many years, culminating in that savage murder of thousands and thousands of Iranians some months ago. No one was in a position to do anything about that. I think, and likewise with Ukraine, I mean, the Russians did invade Ukraine, have attacked civilian infrastructure and so on like that. And for the people of Ukraine who just want peace and an opportunity to live, I think we have to continue to work to see, can we bring peace, different regime to Iran where Iranians can live in peace again, and the people in the Middle East can live in peace. And you're doing your bit there in terms of the work in Gaza and so on like that. And I think that's what we want, is a peaceful resolution of conflict. That's where we come from as a small nation. Right. We've been peacekeepers all our lives, and we're the longest serving nation in terms of provision of peacekeeping forces in the world, as it turns out. But we think ultimately all conflicts come to an end, and I think we have to try and work towards that end, and I'm sure European leaders and the US administration will engage, and hopefully we can get a landing zone somewhere.
I mean, the only thing, and I agree with everything you said, but we helped with Ukraine.
Yes.
And they don't help with Iran. And they all acknowledge that Iran can't have a nuclear weapon. You yourself say, these are horrendous people. These are the worst people, and going back to Hitler, right? Going back to Hitler, these are the worst people. That's a long time ago, and there's been nothing close. Every problem, so many deaths, 90% of the people that got blown up by landmines, they loved them. Soleimani, we killed him. If we didn't, it might be a different story, because he was a horrible person, but he was a very powerful person and leader, smart. But we killed him. If we didn't, I think you'd have it. I did. But I think it would have maybe a different situation. It wouldn't have been so easy as it has been, because it has been very easy. It's all of their military is there, but you can always have somebody drop a mine in the water. It's like terrorism.
Yep.
And then you have the people that own the billion-dollar ship saying, well, let's not move that ship yet because we want. So we thought that Europe would help that, because they do have some minesweepers. But it's amazing that, they all said, what a great job. They would call me congratulating us on the great job we did with respect to Iran, and we knocked the hell out of them. And they're no longer the bully of the Middle East. They were known as the bully of the Middle East, and they're not the bully anymore. But you would have thought they would have said, we'd love to send a couple of minesweepers. It's not a big deal. It doesn't cost very much money. But they didn't do that. So, I think it's very unfair to the United States. Not to me, but to the United States. Go ahead, please.
Keir Starmer isn't making...
She's a fantastic reporter, by the way. Go ahead.
Thank you. The Prime Minister isn't making the case to the British public as to why he should be supporting you. Could you do that now and talk to the UK and to GB News viewers about why it's in their interest that we help you?
Well, because we have a tremendous long-term relationship with the UK. I mean, people would say it's the best. I don't want to get into that, but we've had, it was the longest, the oldest, should be the best. always was the best until Keir came along, and I like him. He's a nice man. He says everything beautiful. He's a very nice man with a beautiful family. Everything's perfect, but he doesn't produce. And I think it's very inexpensive. I just said, you don't have to send me aircraft carriers. Send me a couple of minesweepers. We don't need your aircraft carriers. But even the aircraft carriers, he would only send them after we essentially won. I mean, he's sending them when there are no planes left, when the missiles are down to 8%. They have like 8% of the missiles. The rest we demolish the missiles, and the factories, largely the factories are going even as we speak. They just hit another factory. They have a lot of
we're taking them out limb by limb, so we're just going to stop there because we're running toward the end of the hour. But Shady, can you say that Shady Groove? He's the what of Ireland? Did you see what that was?
No, I didn't.
The chat wants you to go ahead. See the word that I put there? They want you to go ahead and try to say that. Can you say that for us?
No, I can't.
I can't either. So
I can't even read it.
So it's
Taoiseach
of Ireland.
Taoiseach
Of Ireland. That's who that gentleman is. Okay.
Yes, the Taoiseach.
I wasn't going to be able to say that either. Okay. I'm sorry.
That made it a lot easier.
But I wanted you to do it.
I would not come up with that.
I would have said.
It would have been
Taoiseach.
Taoiseach. Where's the Where's the
It's Irish. What do you want from us? It's Gaelic. What do you want?
Well, the Gaelic does maybe that describes it. Gaylord.
Stop it.
I didn't say that.
It's St. Patty's Day. You do not diss the Irish on St. Patty's Day, all right?
I'm part of them.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
I'm assimilating. I'm getting more transparent the longer that I sit here.
So we got Miranda Devine. We got all the neocons out there simping for Joe Kent. And guess who came out and said something today, JD?
Who?
Just before our show came on, Caroline Leavitt. So let's go ahead and talk about this. This is Joe Kent's. After much reflection, I've decided to resign from my position as director. Okay. Listen to what your press secretary says. There are many false claims in this letter, but let me address one specifically, that Iran posed no imminent threat to our nation. Isn't this what I focused on today? This is the same false claim that Democrats and some in the liberal media have been repeating over and over. As President Trump has clearly and explicitly stated, he had a strong and compelling evidence that Iran was going to attack the United States first. This evidence was compiled from many sources and factors. President Trump would never make the decision to deploy military assets against a foreign adversary in a vacuum. Iran is the world's leading state sponsor of terrorism. The Iran regime is evil. It proudly killed Americans, waged war against our country, and openly threatened us all the way up to the launch of Operation Epic Fury. Iran was aggressively expanding their short-range ballistic missiles to combine with their naval assets to give themselves immunity, meaning they would have a degree of capability that would give them immunity to hold us and the rest of the world hostage. The regime aimed to use those ballistic missiles as a shield to continue achieving their ultimate goal: nuclear weapons. The president, through his top negotiators, gave the regime every single possible opportunity to abandon this unacceptable course by prematurely giving up their nuclear ambitions in exchange for sanctions relief, free nuclear fuel, and potential economic partnerships with our country. But they would not say yes to peace because obtaining nuclear weapons was their fundamental goal. President Trump ultimately made the determination that a joint attack with Israel would greatly reduce the risk to American lives.
President Trump made the decision, not Israel.
Wait, no, it says Israel here, Shady. I'm sorry. You're right. President Trump ultimately made the determination that a joint attack with Israel would greatly reduce the risk to American lives, and that would come from from a first strike by the terrorists, Iranian regime, and address this imminent threat to America's national security interests. All this led to President Trump arriving at the determination that this military operation was necessary for the U.S. national security, which is why he launched the massively successful Operation Epic Fury. The commander-in-chief determines what does and does not constitute a threat. because he is the one constitutionally empowered to do so. And because the American people went to the ballot box and entrusted him and him alone to make such final judgments. And finally, the absurd allegation that President Trump made this decision based on the influence of others, even foreign countries, is both insulting and laughable. President Trump has been remarkably consistent and has said for decades that Iran could never possess a nuclear weapon. As someone who actually witnessed President Trump's decision-making process on a daily basis, I can attest to the fact that he is always looking to do what is in the best interest of the United States of America. Period. America first.
And the numbnut brigade are rushing to every single microphone that turned off today to scream and yell and say that, see, we told you so, see, we told you so. The CIA guy agrees with us, see, we told you so, see, we told you so. That is their method of operations. Repeaters. None of them are reporters. None of them are journalists. What they are is they are repeaters in a system that wants its control back over your mind. At one point, they had you believing that the Republican Party was a bunch of neocon technocrats that were actually going to destroy the world in your name. Now the Republican Party is MAGA, standing up and acting in good faith to do the right thing to the wrong people, to do the right thing to the right people as opposed to do the wrong thing to the wrong people. Okay? America has been doing the wrong thing to the wrong people for generations. A generation is 20 years. We've been doing it for like 75 years. We've been doing the wrong thing to the wrong people since the end of World War II.
Yeah.
Why? Because we wanted control over them, and that is what's ending, man. That's what I see ending. And these little narrative seeders, they've been setting him up to do this. Like, I guarantee you that they've been setting him up to do this, to be this little virtue signal thing that he's doing right now.
So let's put on our logic hats real quick, okay? And let's take Miranda, I'm a neocon now, divine, okay? Joe Kent is a man of integrity. Whether you agree with him or not, he is acting on his conscience. He is a highly decorated combat veteran and Gold Star husband whose wife was killed in action in Syria in 2019. Is that a threat on American people? His own wife, guys.
And that was under President Trump.
And you don't think that Syria has anything to do with Iran, do you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so he has every right to feel the way he does. Thank you for your service, she says. I beg to differ. His wife was unalived by Iran, guys. I mean, make sense to me, Shady. Really, seriously.
No, and he's sitting there saying that there's no threat.
No threat. His wife died.
You guys recognize this. This is the topsy-turvy world they're wanting you to live in. I'm gonna bring this up, Jeff, before we get out of here. I want you guys to see it. Here's Roger Stone's comment. You may disagree with Tucker Carlson and you may loathe him, but if you think that his views are not heartfelt and that he is not a loyal American, you are wrong.
And then what does it say below it?
Loomer says he simps for the Muslim Brotherhood and the Iranian regime and accuses U.S. soldiers of wanting to rape Iranian people. And he also lies nonstop about President Trump. There's nothing loyal about Tucker Carlson. You and I both know he's well as a rabid Jew hater. So look at the back and forth. Not that long ago, Roger Stone was coming out telling you what a great human being Laura Loomer was. You see how these guys are keeping you on the hamster wheel? You know, you got these people like these idiots like, Scott McMahon or whatever he's doing, out there saying
McNumbnut.
Yeah, McNumbnut. Acting like that these people are like, the Brendan Dilley. Brendan Dilley has J6 skeletons.
Yeah, he does.
And we know that he has J6
and so
skeletons.
does Roger Stone, who
because
he's protecting.
He was I think Roger Stone is who puppeted his J6 numbnuttery.
Mm-hmm. He has
think
Proud
that they're
Boy
all
shirts
in a big
on.
club.
Thank you, Bonster, for all that sauce. He used to sell Q hats, Brendan Dilley.
Yeah, and now he's now
that's
he's
a grifter.
Now he's part of the McMahon network.
Yeah, the McNumbnut. And Shady, and we're talking about this guy was ex-CIA, once CIA.
They're always CIA.
And we'll see you guys tomorrow. God bless you all.
Much love. It'll be Wednesday. Hump Day.
Trump Day. Today it's the 17th. Happy Q Day.
One CIA.
One CIA.
Oh, CIA.
Always CIA. That's the golden rule, they say. Suit leaves Langley, but the leash don't break away. Trade the trench coat for a pinstripe, keep the burner in the drawer. Same old spooks just walking through a different marble door. One CIA, always CIA. The badge don't ever fade. From the farm to the floor, they still run the same old trade. Black ops in the shadows, black ops in the light. One CIA, always CIA, forever in the fight. Former spook in Congress, former spook in the race, former spook in the Senate, smile on his face. One became the president, waved from Marine One stare. But the files in Langley still list him as ours, handled with care. Define black op clandestine, off the books no trace. Plausible deniability, written all over the place. When the rogue boys in the agency decide the country's lost its way, they run a quiet op on Pennsylvania Avenue, the American way. Snowden wasn't CIA, he was NSA through and through. Worked out of the Cunha tunnel on a who's hidden side. Buried deep beneath old pineapple fields, turned spy bazaar. Cool concrete catacombs where the signals never died. One CIA, always CIA. But NSA watches too. Five Eyes upstream prison, they know what you're about to do. When the whistleblower drops the docks and runs to Hong Kong's glow, the whole machine screams traitor, but everybody already knows. What happens when the deep black turns the guns back home? When Langley or Fort Meade decides who sits upon the throne? They leak, they forge, they flip the vote, they plant the compromat. Call it self-preservation when they stage a quiet coup like that. NSA versus CIA, mirror images in the dark. One collects the signals, one runs the cutouts and the sparks. But when the rogue wings flap together, friend and foe both feel the blade. One CIA, always CIA, and the republic slowly fades. One CIA, always CIA. Ask not for whom the black op runs, it runs for thee today.
Wow, happy St. Patrick's Day, www.mg.show. Boom.